Hi, my name is Chef Cheyne. I'm going to make a quick pizza dough. Three things. I'm going to clean my area, set my mise en place, mix and store. So to clean it, I've got some disinfectant spray. Here it is. Well, it's already clean. I'm just disinfecting it because I'm about to put things on the table. I'm going to make some strokes back and forth. I'm not going to miss a square centimeter on this table. Here I've got a dry cloth. I'm going to dry this table off twice because I'll be cooking on it. I'll be putting dough on this momentarily. Flip it over, back and forth. There will be no moisture. As I wipe, I will get the perimeter. There we go. Second step is combine all the mise en place. I'm going to combine literally everything except only half of my dry ingredients. You'll see why in a second. So here's my flour. That's about half. I got a little more, why not? All my water, it's warm. My sugar, you might use brown sugar or honey. My salt, my yeast, and my oil, which I forgot to mise en place. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons. All right, now I'm going to use a mixer, hand mixer, to really combine these ingredients. For two reasons. First, to combine them evenly. Second, to activate the gluten, at least in half of the dough, or half of the flour. So, I'm just going to kind of really combine this. Again, just to combine it and to activate the gluten, like seriously, make the gluten start wrapping itself in at least half of the batter, I guess. Batter's not the right word, but. So then it's going to be a perfect mix. Now you can do this in a food processor or a stand mixer, but it's harder to clean. You find that this is a much better solution. I can feel the dough or the gluten start to grab itself here. I'm going to lift it up slowly, letting the extra batter or dough come off the blades. Pretty clean. I can really clean that in a jiff if I need to. This is a dough I made a little earlier. And, okay, so I've got a really heavily mixed half of my dough. Here comes the rest of the flour. I'm going to start mixing it with my clean hands, which are very clean. I'm going to mix it only the tip of my fingers and avoid all of this part of my hand. All right, so I'm just kind of folding it over. In this case, I used warm water, and it really feels kind of good. All right, so I'm folding it over, mixing it up, kind of spinning the bowl. Again, I'm only using the tips of my fingers. And this is a stage where most people will grab it and really make a mess of their fingers, and it gets all gooey. Yeah, my fingertips are gooey, but that'll come off relatively quickly. All right, I'm spinning the bowl as I go. I'm mixing it over. I'm folding it over here. Now, I would love to be able to mix all the dough with that hand mixer, but it becomes just too gloopy. It just grabs too much. It doesn't work. See, it's starting to stick together here. And we'll do a final finish on the table, in case you wondered why I actually cleaned the table. Coming in, that's about it. So it's really kind of globby here. I'm going to put a little flour on the table and we'll finish the mix. Sprinkle my flour. All right, so I'll spread out my flour. Again, I have not really touched the side, anything but my palm, just my fingertips. Here comes the dough on the table. Now, because we did this with a cup measurement, a volume measurement instead of a weight measurement, it's really possible that our ratio of flour to moist ingredients, in this case water and oil, might be slightly off. In fact, I think this one felt a little bit wet, but that's okay because I have flour here. So again, I'm folding it over, lifting up one side, pushing it in the middle, lifting it, pushing it in the middle, rotating it, lifting it, pushing in the middle, trying to incorporate some of this table flour into it. Yeah, it's starting to feel just about right. Kind of spongy but not sticky. Yeah, it's getting pretty close. So now that it's really close, I know that the interior is not as dry as the exterior, so I'm going to make sure the interior is getting dry. It's going to be a nice, springy, soft. It's still warm. Now I still have the tips of my fingers a little doughy, but at this stage I can actually just roll them off and get that extra dough back to my dough itself. All right, here we go. All right, so we got some little beaded pieces of dough here. Yeah, if you've ever played with Play-Doh, you know exactly what we're doing here. All right, so Here I've got a nice dough. I'm going to start kind of rolling it into itself. I'm tucking the bottom up into itself. And soon I'm going to be oiling it and storing it in a bowl. We're going to let it raise, of course. And for pizza, once I let it raise, I'll knock it down, form it into balls, and let those secondary balls raise again, if we have time. All right, now I've got a pretty good little ball of dough. Take my Mise en Place extra oil of all, putting my dough in. It's a little sticky, not much, but just a little. And now I'm rolling it, covering this dough in oil. I'm going to take a clean cloth, make it wet. Actually, this cloth is both clean and sterile. I'm going to make it moist, not wet, and cover it. We'll let this raise. An hour, 2, 3, 4, or overnight would be optimal. After it raises, we'll cut it apart and make ball doughs, smaller ball doughs, and let those raise again. And that's how you make a pizza dough pretty quick. Have a good one.